Joe Pug, you old dog, you. You're traveling guy.
We travel quite a bit. That is where we make our living.
But from the start, though, I mean, Greenbelt, Maryland, right?
Yes. Grew up Greenbelt, Maryland. Family still lives there.
Graduated high school, went to college in Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
In Carolina, for 3 years. Mm-hmm.
What were you going to be a filmmaker? Is that what you were thinking?
No, I was
or
into live theater and playwriting. So if there's any business where there's less money than the music business right now,
live theater,
then live theater would be it. So traded one for the other.
How much of that is helpful? The foundations of live theater, how much of that is helpful in storytelling for you as a songwriter?
Well, it translates a little bit to songwriting, especially these club shows that we do. We travel the country 6 months out of the year, me and my band, and we play in, 200 to 300 person clubs, and it's exactly what it was like doing theater when I was growing up and what I went to college for. So it translates a lot. Now, when you're in the studio and writing songs, that's pretty different. That's a pretty different gig. But the performing aspect of it, I definitely borrow a lot from what I learned then.
Darkness, but if you are devoted to a dream, go and light the lantern, leave your family abandoned. Meet me by the shallow of the stream. Oh, meet me by the shallow of the stream.
Why Chicago? I've been wanting to ask you that question.
I just had a buddy that had moved there, and I'd visited the weekend before I was supposed to return to college, and I really fell in love with the city. I mean, it's a very romantic city, Chicago is, to me at least, and for my aesthetic as a person. And I said to myself, well, this is where I'm going to go when I finish up this year of school. And when I drove down to Carolina to go to school, I just thought to myself, well, this is stupid. I know exactly where I want to be, and it's not here. And life is short. It really is. And you don't know what's going to happen in a year, and you don't.
Right.
So I might as well, if I know where I want to be, I better just do that, And so I did. I called the registrar's office and withdrew for that year, and drove to Chicago and didn't really look back.
To ask me is to love with hesitation. My answer is the same as it has been. Here is my affection, no conditions and no questions. Open up the door and let me in. Oh, open up the door and let me in.
Was it in Chicago? What kind of support system, what kind of music scene was it for you to kind of find your comfort zone in Chicago?
Support system-wise.
Creatively,
yeah. There was definitely a group of songwriters that I played with at an open mic at a place called Lily's that it was insane. This place, it was very close to DePaul University. It was run by this woman, Lily, the namesake of the place, who, just to kind of give you an example of her eccentricity, there was this old barfly that came to that bar for 20 years who would always play the piano. And when he died, all of his friends paid to refurbish the piano and have it tuned and stuff. And she was so angry at having the piano played, the infernal racket that it was making, is that she went with a pair of scissors and cut the strings. And so we all used to refer to that as, you know, when someone was really cold, when a woman was really cold to you, you just say, man, yeah, she would cut the strings of a dead man's piano. You know. And so that was Lily. The special was a pitcher of Long Island iced tea for $5.
Oh.
A pitcher of Long Island iced tea. Let that sink in on you.
I am.
For a second. You could smoke grass in the balcony, no problem. I mean, and we never made any money there. The bartender was our friend, so he never paid for a drink. I never saw anyone pay for a drink the entire time that we were there. And there was about 4 or 5 songwriters that were, there was a bunch of people doing it, but there was 4 or 5 of us that were into kind of like the same sort of music that came out of the tradition of Dylan, the band, people like John Hyatt, Warren Zevon, stuff like that. And we kind of gravitated towards one another and would play these open mics, play each other's house. You know how it goes when you're super young, you're 21 years old, and you're down to just stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning.
Sure.
You know, singing the night they drove Old Dixie down over and over.
Sure.
Again. Why not?
To trust me is to travel past the towers. Those who make it back from here are few. It takes all of your devotion to have courage for a moment. The world has bested better men than you. Oh, the world has bested.
Found out who you were from a buddy of mine who said, "Have you heard of Joe Pug?" And I said, "No." And he said, "I wrote him an email, and he wrote me back." And it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I said that I had seen him somewhere, and I would love to get a hold of his music. He's sending me everything he's recorded. He's going to mail it to me. And sure enough, handwritten, shows up in his mail. And I go over to his house, and he's like, "Look, Joe Pug sent all of this stuff to me personally." So that's been your reputation for at least 4 or 5 years. And I remember seeing some video of you packing stuff up. You kind of had your whole system together, your mailing system. Do you still do that, or has it changed?
It's digital now.
Yeah.
It's that sampler that we were sending out to people. This would have been 2007, 2008. So that is like the tail end of when CDs were still kind of a thing that you would do. So we were sending them out to people, as many as they wanted to pass out to friends. Now we do the same exact thing. We kind of take whatever have been the most popular 1 or 2 songs from any of the albums that I put out, and we put it on this sampler for people who haven't heard the music before. They just go to our website, download it, free, no strings attached. I kind of feel like if people can hear the music, that they'll really dig it. And if they don't, it's no skin off my teeth.
Sit upon the mountain. Every step is harder than the last. But to find the step above it is to triumph, is to summit. Taste the frigid water from the tap. Ah, taste the frigid water from the tap.
John Prine and Bob Dylan and Woody Guthrie, you are doing it, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Joe Pug, JoePugMusic.com. Is that right?
You got it, yeah.
Go there, download a couple of songs for free.
Yeah, and then buy some more.
And then tell your friends.
Exactly.
And tell them that you're going to hear it on the Eldon Thacker Show, too. Exactly. You got new stuff coming out soon?
We just recorded an album in Lexington, Kentucky, with a producer named Dwayne Lundy, who's excellent. And I'm going back to Lexington in a week to just do some final tracking, but it's close. It's 10% away from being there, and we're really proud of it. I think it's going to be really good.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for coming in.
To curse me for the life we left behind us is to misremember what was gone. Far from the vacant cradle to the empty kitchen table. Show me what was precious, it was lost. Oh, I'm sorry that I said it, and I know it might be reckless. Oh, show me what was precious, it was cost.